1955. What if I told you that a single penny, one you might have held in your hand as a child, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Not a silver dollar, not a gold coin, but a simple 1955 Lincoln penny, the one with Thomas Jefferson's Monticello engraved proudly on its back, hiding a secret that collectors are now racing to uncover. Yes, a penny from a time when America was strong, families were close, and every coin had a story. Back in 1955, in the heart of Denver, millions of Lincoln pennies were struck, ordinary coins meant for everyday life. Kids traded them for candy, fathers dropped them into jukeboxes, and mothers tucked them into glass jars for rainy days. But among those countless copper coins, a few were different. A handful came out of the mint with a subtle imperfection, a rare striking error that would turn them into treasures decades later. One day, a retired factory worker in Colorado discovered one while cleaning out an old dresser. At first, he thought nothing of it, just a shiny old penny. But when he showed it to a local dealer, his quiet life changed overnight. That tiny coin was worth more than his entire month's pension check. The 1955 Lincoln penny, often connected with striking or die variations, stands out because of its limited and flawless minting quality, its rich copper tone, and its historical timing during the golden age of American coinage. Unlike later coins that lost their purity and character, this one was minted in a transition era, a bridge between the classic and the modern. Collectors crave it for its clean Denver mint mark, its strong strike, and the few known examples that exhibit doubling or die imperfections on the date and lettering. The demand has only grown as older collectors pass on their collections, and newer generations realize how few of these coins remain in pristine condition. You'd be surprised how many people once held this penny and never knew what they had. One man, years ago, used his rare 1955 Lincoln cent to buy a newspaper, unknowingly handing away a coin that could have paid for a vacation today. These stories are heartbreaking, yet they remind us that treasures often slip through our fingers because we forget to look closely. And right now, while collectors are paying record prices for verified examples, thousands of these coins might still be sitting unnoticed in drawers, boxes, and jars across America. If you come across a 1955 penny, look carefully. You'll want to see that small mint mark just below the date. That's the sign it was struck in Denver. Examine Lincoln's profile, the crispness of the lettering, and the strength of the word liberty. The Monticello design on the reverse side, when well defined, can indicate a higher grade coin, one that could command a stunning price in the market today. Every detail matters, and those fine details are what separate an ordinary penny from a collector's dream. If you think you found one, don't leave it to chance. Contact a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These are the experts who authenticate, grade, and preserve rare coins. Even a moderately worn 1955 Lincoln penny can hold serious value if verified. Professional grading not only confirms its worth but also locks in its place as a historical artifact. So before you pass by that old jar of coins on your kitchen shelf or ignore that dusty tin box in the attic, take another look. Because that single penny, the one you thought was worthless, might just hold your future. These coins are in high demand, and every day, more collectors are realizing their true worth. Don't wait for stories of what could have been. Start your own story today. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history hiding in plain sight, one coin, one memory, one discovery at a time. What if I told you, a single penny from 1940, one you might have seen rolling across your childhood kitchen table, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, a humble brown coin, no bigger than a thumbnail, could hold a story of American strength, wartime history, and quiet fortune. Today, we're uncovering the 1940 no-mint mark Lincoln Monticello penny, a coin that's surprising collectors across the country and turning ordinary discoveries into life-changing moments. Picture this, it's 1940. The Great Depression is slowly fading, and a sense of hope is returning to American homes. A young boy in Illinois receives a shiny new penny from his father, a Lincoln wheat cent fresh from circulation. He drops it into a small tin box, promising to save every penny he ever earns. That same coin, marked only by its date and no mint letter, rests untouched for over 80 years, until a collector opens that box and realizes it's not just any penny. It's one of the most sought-after 1940 no-mint mark Lincoln cents, with flawless luster and sharp detail, now valued in the thousands. What makes the 1940 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so valuable is its remarkable preservation and historical timing. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which used no mint mark, this coin carries the classic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the proud wheat ears on the back, symbolizing America's growth during trying times. While millions were made, only a tiny fraction survived without scratches, tarnish, or damage. Collectors today are paying incredible sums for those rare survivors graded in mint state condition. High-quality examples can easily command 4 figures, and pristine versions have crossed auction blocks for jaw-dropping prices. Many people have held this coin and never knew it. Some spent it on a stick of gum, others let it slip away in pocket change or a yard sale. Imagine discovering one in your old change jar, only to realize too late that it could have paid for a dream vacation or a grandchild's college fund. Every time a story like that surfaces, collectors are reminded, history doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes, it jingles softly in your pocket. When searching through your collection, pay close attention to any 1940 Lincoln penny that lacks a mint mark beneath the date. That means it was struck in Philadelphia, and if it still shines with its original red tone, sharp details on Lincoln's coat and beard, and clean wheat stalks on the reverse, you may be holding something extraordinary. A coin with no scratches, perfect color, and full strike could be worth far more than you'd imagine. If you believe you found a special 1940 no mint mark penny, have it verified by a trusted grading service such as PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm its authenticity and condition, and once it's graded, its value becomes official, sometimes rising dramatically overnight. So before you toss that old coin jar aside, take one last look. That faded wheat penny from your father's change or your grandmother's drawer might not just be a keepsake, it could be a rare treasure waiting for its story to be told. In a world moving faster than ever, these coins remind us of where we came from, and how history can still hold value in the palm of your hand. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you find history hiding in plain sight, and maybe, your next fortune too. 1941. What if a single penny from 1941, one that might be sitting forgotten in an old jar, dresser drawer, or tucked away in a box of childhood keepsakes, could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today? Imagine turning something that once bought a stick of gum into a small fortune. This isn't a fantasy, it's the incredible story of the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a piece of American history that collectors are desperately searching for right now. Picture this, it's the early 1940s. The world is at war, but here at home, families are saving every penny, every scrap of metal, to support the troops. A young boy in Ohio receives his weekly allowance, a few Lincoln cents, and pockets them without a second thought. One of those pennies, minted quietly in Philadelphia in 1941, carries no mint mark at all, just the familiar face of Abraham Lincoln, worn yet proud. Decades later, that very coin, once dismissed as ordinary, resurfaces in a collection and shocks the numismatic world with its exceptional condition and rarity. That unassuming little cent, the same kind found in millions of pockets, suddenly becomes a treasure worth a collector's dream price. So what makes the 1941 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special? First, its origin. Minted in Philadelphia, it bears no mint mark, but its value lies in its pristine condition, unique errors, and brilliant luster that survived the test of time. Some coins were struck with slight die cracks, double dies, or off-center errors, each adding extraordinary value. In high grades, especially those graded MS-65 or higher by professional services, these coins have sold for thousands of dollars in today's market. Even average circulated examples can fetch surprising sums, simply because collectors want every piece of this iconic wartime history. Many people once had these coins and never knew what they held. Some spent them without a second glance, not realizing they were giving away a part of history, and potentially a small treasure. A collector once shared how his grandfather used to keep a jar full of old pennies from the 1940s, only to have them cashed in at the bank decades later. Inside that jar could have been a gem, one coin that today could have changed everything. Don't let that story be yours. When you come across a 1941 Lincoln penny, pay attention to the details. It should show the date, 1941, clearly beneath Lincoln's portrait, and unlike coins from Denver or San Francisco, there will be no mint mark under the date. That's your first clue. Check the surface carefully. If it shines with its original red luster or has visible doubling in the letters, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," it might be one of the highly sought-after varieties. Even a small die crack or misaligned strike can turn this humble cent into something extraordinary. If you believe you found one, don't leave it to chance. Handle it gently by the edges and have it examined by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin can instantly reveal its grade and true market value, and in today's collector world, demand for these pieces is incredibly strong. Dealers and auction houses across the country are on the lookout for high-quality 1941 no-mint mark Lincolns, especially those preserved in mint state condition. That old penny jar in your kitchen, the one filled with memories of a simpler time, might just hold your future. Every coin tells a story of resilience, history, and hope. Don't let yours go unnoticed. Take a second look, because you never know when the past might shine brighter than gold. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the history, value, and wonder hiding right in your hands. 1957 D. What if I told you that a simple penny, one you might have held in your hand as a child, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Imagine reaching into an old coffee can or coin jar, and finding a 1957 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, yet carries a story, a mystery, and a value that could truly surprise you. It was a quiet afternoon in Denver, 1957. The world was changing fast. Elvis was on the radio, gas was just 24 cents a gallon, and pennies jingled in every pocket across America. But in the midst of that everyday life, something special happened. A small number of Lincoln pennies left the Denver Mint, struck with an unusually sharp detail, and a rich red luster that seemed to glow under the light. Over time, these coins began to vanish from circulation. Most were spent, lost, or melted down, but a few, just a few, were tucked away in drawers and jars, forgotten for decades. And every now and then, one resurfaces, shocking collectors and changing hands for incredible amounts of money. The 1957 D. Lincoln penny might seem common. After all, millions were made. But here's where the story gets fascinating. A small batch of these coins was struck with rare die varieties and flawless mint conditions, making them highly sought after today. The D. mint mark below the date stands for Denver, but what collectors crave most are those struck with sharp, proof-like details, double die errors, or perfect red brilliance that has survived nearly 7 decades without a single scratch. In pristine condition, certified by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC, these coins can reach values that astonish even seasoned collectors. Many people once spent these pennies without a second thought, slipping them into vending machines, handing them over for candy, or letting their kids play with them. Decades later, those same coins could have been worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It's a gentle reminder that history often hides in plain sight, and sometimes, what we dismiss as just a penny can be a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. When you pick up a 1957 D. Lincoln penny, pay close attention to the tiny D. mint mark under the date. That's the key. The shine, the color, the clarity of Lincoln's face, the sharpness of the word liberty, and even the texture of the wheat ears on the back, all of these can make the difference between a 1-cent coin and a valuable collector's piece. The rarer the strike, the richer the color, the higher the value. If you believe you found one, don't take chances. Have it authenticated by professionals like PCGS or NGC. Their experts can grade your coin, protect it in a sealed holder, and confirm its true market worth. Many collectors have done just that, and walked away amazed at how a penny from their past turned into a small fortune today. So before you dismiss that old jar of coins sitting in your kitchen or the box of change in your attic, take another look. The 1957 D. Lincoln penny could be waiting for you there, a tiny piece of American history that's grown more valuable with every passing year. Because sometimes, the past doesn't just tell a story, it rewards those who care enough to listen. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where every coin tells a story, and where your next discovery might just change your future. 1952. What if I told you that a single penny from 1952, the kind that might still be sitting in your father's old coin jar, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, the 1952 Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny is one of those rare pieces of American history that proves something truly magical. Even the smallest coin can carry an incredible story of value, mystery, and nostalgia. Picture this: it's 1952, the world is healing after the war, and America is stepping into a new era of hope. In Denver, millions of pennies roll off the mint presses, each one bearing the humble portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of honesty and perseverance. Among them, a handful were struck just slightly differently, pennies with subtle imperfections, unique characteristics, and an undeniable charm that would, decades later, make collectors chase them with fierce determination. Some of these coins slipped quietly into circulation, jingling in the pockets of factory workers, soldiers returning home, and families saving for their first car. No one knew that a few of those ordinary-looking 1952 Lincoln pennies would one day be among the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world. So, what makes this coin so special? The 1952 penny, minted in Denver, gained its fame from its scarcity in pristine condition and rare die varieties that make certain examples extremely valuable. Coins that show off sharp details, deep red luster, or striking die errors, like doubled dates or slightly misaligned designs, have sold for astonishing sums, sometimes crossing the $10,000 mark at major auctions. For collectors, it's a symbol of a time when craftsmanship and history met in the palm of your hand. Many people have unknowingly spent these pennies over the years, tossing them into vending machines or giving them as change without realizing what they had. Imagine someone paying for a cup of coffee in 1970 with a coin that could pay for a dream vacation today. Those stories of missed chances remind us of how easily history can slip through our fingers when we don't take a closer look at what we already own. If you come across a 1952 penny with the D mint mark right below the date, take a careful look. The most valuable ones often have a rich reddish-brown color, crisp details on Lincoln's coat and hair, and no visible wear. Some carry unique die marks or slight misstrikes, imperfections that make them perfect in the eyes of collectors. These coins are not just worth money, they are a tangible link to America's golden age of minting and the spirit of those who lived through it. To make sure you truly have one of these treasures, you can send your coin to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. Their experts will authenticate and grade your penny, giving you the peace of mind, and the proof, that you're holding a genuine piece of history that collectors everywhere desire. So before you spend another penny or overlook that old jar in your kitchen drawer, take a moment to look closely. That dusty little coin from your childhood could be more than just copper, it could be a piece of your family's story waiting to shine again. And remember, every coin tells a tale, and sometimes, that tale is worth a fortune. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover history hiding in plain sight, one coin, one story, one memory at a time. 1953. What if I told you that a single penny from 1953, the same kind you might have handed to a candy store clerk as a kid, could now be worth thousands of dollars? Yes, a simple 1953 Lincoln penny, the one with that small D mint mark under the date, has quietly become one of the most sought-after treasures in American coin history. It's not just a coin, it's a little piece of the American story, a relic from an era when every penny truly mattered. Picture this: it's 1953. The war is over, the economy is booming, and life feels hopeful again. A young boy in Denver walks to the corner store with a handful of pennies, jingling in his pocket. He buys a soda and a pack of baseball cards, never realizing that one of those tiny copper coins, fresh from the Denver Mint, would one day be worth more than his family's entire car. That boy, like millions of Americans, had no idea that the 1953 Lincoln penny he held carried hidden secrets. A few were struck with remarkable precision, some with rare die varieties, and others preserved so perfectly that today, collectors are paying small fortunes just to own one. The 1953 Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, may look ordinary at first glance, but in pristine, uncirculated condition, or with certain die errors, it's a genuine rarity. A small handful were struck with doubled dies or slightly off-center designs that make them stand out under magnification. Some examples, preserved flawlessly in brilliant red tones, have sold for thousands at auction. What makes this coin so special is its combination of history, scarcity, and condition. The Denver Mint produced millions, but only a few have survived the decades untouched by time, and those few now sit at the top of every collector's wish list. Over the years, countless 1953 pennies have been spent, lost, or simply forgotten in dusty jars and kitchen drawers. Many families unknowingly gave away fortunes in change, never realizing that the copper coin they dropped into a charity box or parking meter was worth far more than a cent. Don't let that happen to you. Every day, rare finds surface from old collections and forgotten piggy banks, and every one of them tells a story of someone who almost missed their chance. That if you ever come across a 1953 penny, look closely at the date, make sure it carries the small D mint mark just below the year. Check the surface under good light. If it shines with a bright, original red luster and shows no wear, you may be holding something truly special. Pay attention to the fine details, the clarity of Lincoln's profile, the sharpness of the lettering, and the smoothness of the rim. Coins with doubled lettering or misaligned designs are even rarer. Every small detail could mean the difference between a penny and a payday. If you think you found one, don't guess, get it verified by a trusted expert. Professional services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, confirming its condition and true market value. Collectors and auction houses are actively seeking top-quality 1953 Lincoln pennies, and certified examples are seeing record-high demand. So, before you walk past that old coin jar or cash in that dusty roll of pennies, take a moment. Because inside that little jar could be a piece of American history waiting to change your story. These coins aren't just copper, they're time capsules, holding the spirit of a simpler, prouder era. Who knows? The next great discovery might be sitting right there, in your hands. Subscribe to Timeless Treasures, where we help you uncover the hidden wealth and wonder of history, one coin at a time.